welcome to my channel. What are we doing today? Today we will be looking at this. This is the Boya crayons that I got in a Scrawlrbox. Now this was actually my last subscription to Scrawlrbox. This was in their January of 2024 box, and I never really got around to experimenting or working with this medium. And I think it's only fitting that since we're using November to explore crayons, well actually to look at crayons for our Huevember, that we look at these crayons for November. The only information that I could find about these crayons were actually from Scrawlrbox, because they don't really talk about these crayons much on their website. But what I've found is that the Boya Crayons is actually made in Croatia, and it is by this company, specifically by this designer. Now I will probably butcher the name, but it's Jadgrib. I will put the names up, and the designer that made these crayons is actually Maja Mezik, and again I will put that name up for you guys to see somewhere that who I'm referring to. And it said that these crayons are wax-based crayons that are soft and ideal for drawing, coloring, and painting with crayons. Interesting. There are different the different designs of these crayons allows for sharp edges and for broad color laydown. And these crayons are also stain proof. So unlike the Crayola, I guess, that can stain fabrics or walls, these crayons don't stain at all. Interestingly, these are crayons. This is how it came. Now you would have seen this already spoke about in tons of Scrawlrbox, so you don't need me to go through the nitty-gritty of this the Scrawlrbox about these. But these are how it's shaped. It's like a little drop of water. And these are how it pops out. Oh, my brown has a crack in it, as you can see. I don't think it's a Scrawler problem. It's probably my problem, because I haven't used these. Literally from the time I've got it, all I did was open the box. And the colors that I have here are, let me see, they were written on the box, do you know? They were written right on the box, the colors that were included. Wait a minute, I had to find it on the box. They're the colors that are included. So this one is Olympic bronze, this one is turquoise blue, and here we have cinnabar red and ivory beige. So what I am going to do now with these four colors from this crayon is that I am going to be doing my swatching, give you guys my first impression. Then I'm going to be taking this away like I normally do now and do a little bit more in-depth research about it, because I did contact the Scrawler company and I asked them a few more questions about these crayons, and I'm waiting. Oh, they already responded to me, but they themselves are waiting for someone else to respond. So what I'm gonna do is put some color lay down, take it away, do some tests with it, and then when I come back to you, I'll come back to you with those information that I got from Scrawler about these crayons. This is my practice test piece here. It's popcorn. This is my Boya crayon review section. So I'm going to do some swatches here, do some color mixing, do some layering tests, and see what we have. And then in part 2 of this video, the same video guys, we're going to talk more about these crayons and we're going to conclude my final thoughts. So now let me get into my first impression and swatch of these crayons. Being that it's only 4 colors we're swatching, I think that I don't need to time-lapse this. This is the ivory beige I'm swatching here. And the key elements that I'm looking at is color laid down You know, how does it swatch? Does it have any crumbs, odor? What I could say is that this doesn't give me the nostalgic crayon odor that we're all used to. Okay, that was Ivy Beige. Now I'm doing, I should have done bronze, but anyway, this is, you know, to be honest, these kind of remind me of the clay crayons that we reviewed on this channel. It has that kind of lay down feel to it. Yeah. I'll use blue as the turquoise blue as my last one. So now let me go to the bronze. Because even though it is not as like the Crayola, and so it's actually very comfortable to hold in hand. I don't feel like I have to be careful how I'm gripping my this medium like the Crayola, because you know, once you put too much pressure on the Crayola, it tends to break. But with these, I feel comfortable. And that's the bronze, and now here is turquoise. Ooh, ain't that a bright color? I would love to know if these are made from pigments or dyes. But it does, ooh, this crumbs a little. I can see crumbs popping up from this one. But yeah, it'll be interesting to see what, and it does have a different feel than the others. You know, it has a more, it feels like hard clay, you know, like children clay, like when you're playing with children clay and you put it to hard, and it still has that moldy feeling, that, you know, that texture. This one feels like that. While these one, you feel, you know, the wax has hardened, it's smooth. This one has a very different texture feeling to it. Okay guys, for part one, you've got my first impression while swatching these, while working with these. I'm going to be taking these away where I'll be doing the tests. I also have prepared some comparison tests to do with these so that I can work with it, and the next time you see me, I'll be coloring this piece here on the side, just to kind of, like, you know, give you guys a feel for it, doing some blending, some layering tests with these. I want to check if these are water soluble as well. So all that I'm going to be testing out with these. Thank you guys so much for joining me on this journey. Well, actually, this is not the end. Why am I ending it here? Guys, I'll see you in part two. It'll be 1 week for me, but 2 seconds for you. Hi friends, welcome back to my channel. What are we doing today? Today we are doing part 2 of these Boya review crayons. Now we have done part 1 a couple weeks ago, I might say, but for you it's only been 2 seconds. For me it was 14 days. But I did work with these some, and today we are gonna finish up these Boya crayons, and I'm gonna tell you what I think about them. Quick refresher, these Boya crayons were a part of the Scrawlrbox 2024 January's subscription, and these were the featured items. So what have I been doing in the 14 days? Now they come with 4 colors: teardrop shape or water drop shape. I believe this is ivory beige, cinnabar red, turquoise blue, and Olympic bronze. And these are how the colors are all set out. Now let me show you what I've been doing with these crayons. Let me put that to the side, and here we are. So I wanted to see how these crayons feature on black, and that's exactly what I did. As you can see here, these are how they swatch out. This is the little illustration. These are how they layer and mix. So they do show up on black, but you can still see the transparency of that black coming through. This is on black paper, normal paper, and this is the same paper that we did the crayon test on. So I'm trying to be consistent here. Next, we did it here. And so I wanted to test these Boya crayons against regular Crayola crayons. And on my left is Crayola, on my right is Boya. And I tried to do some color matching. I probably didn't do it so well, but yeah. Look at how these all, how these all come out. So one thing I've noticed with these Boya is versus the Crayola, it doesn't have that heavy crayon scent, like when you open a box of crayon, you're hit with that very heavy crayon scent. These Boya doesn't have them, but when it comes to brightness, color laid down, to me it felt about the same form of opacity, but this turquoise blue is a bit more opaque than my Crayola green blue. And I did drew an illustration for November. The next test I wanted to see how these Boya crayons fared against other crayons that I have. I have here the Bambino crayons. Now these crayons are made from clay, not wax. These crayons are the Crayola Twistables, and to the bottom here next to the Boya is the Crayola crayons that I had from 1978, how it fares with all of these. And these are the results. Let me push it a bit aside. Hard to handle within the lines, especially when I'm doing my artwork. That's a note that I had to put in there, because especially when I'm doing my line art, to handle a Crayola was okay for me. I was comfortable with it, but for these Boya, it was kind of hard for me. Maybe it's because I'm not used to that type of shape of pencil for me to handle, and I won't use these for precision work. Even though it says it does have a point, I will not use these for precision work. So I think they're best worked with broader or bigger illustrations, not necessarily fine-tuning illustrations. Okay. And as you can see, it has the same amount of vibrancy as the Crayola. This one? Yeah, this one. Same amount of vibrancy, only this turquoise blue is a bit more opaque than the others, but the same amount of vibrancy. And I remember saying this turquoise blue does feel differently than the others, So yeah. Okay, so today we're working with the Boya crayons, and this is my illustration. Popcorn. A box of popcorn, and I'll be doing this illustration, doing a bit of voiceover, and then we'll wrap up in the end. Let's get to it. Okay, so this is in real time because it's really short, guys. It was only a box of popcorn, and I must say again, the same trouble is the maneuvering of these crayons. What do you see me there was a bit of color transfer. Apparently when I was doing all my tests, some of the turquoise blue got left on the cinnabar red, and so I was trying to take it off. But yeah, it was the maneuvering of these crayons that was getting to me. I should add that I said I was going to contact the company. I was waiting for Scrawlrbox to get back to me. They did get back to me, and the person that got back to me said I need to talk to Boya. I did send an email to Boya because there was literally 3 questions I asked them. Did they do any light fast testing on these? If they did, what are the light fast results of the crayons, especially the colors that was in the Scrawlrbox? And also, are these made from paraffin wax or beeswax? What form of wax are these made from? Those were the questions I had. I don't think I asked them about pigment or dye. I might have asked them about it, but they did not get back to me, and none of the answers to these questions were on their website. It basically says about how the what was the motivation behind manufacturing these crayons and how bright they are and how fun they are to work with, but it really, and who is the manufacturer behind them, but it didn't really give me any product information beside that. And I chose to do some kind of caramelized popcorn with these just to kind of bring out the Olympic bronze with these. Again, but because that maneuvering factor for me was challenging, I didn't think I bring it out to the best of my ability. And I had to readjust the book here so I could show you guys me now doing the piece of this. The next thing you'll see me do in this is I'm using the turquoise blue just to give it some form of backgrounds and, you know, to kind of center my popcorn, well, to paste my popcorn on the page to give it this background. And for the most part it worked, but again, that maneuvering thing, guys, it really got to me. I don't think these crayons are for me. They're not, I don't know how to work with them. Maybe I need to work with them a whole lot more than I'm doing right now to get the gist of it. I want to thank Scrawlrbox so much for giving us the experience to have these crayons in our set, and thank you guys so much. And now I'm gonna wrap this up here, and I'm going to see you guys in the end. I think for the next 10 seconds or so I'll let you enjoy me doing some coloring. Okay, so you have got my thoughts on these crayons. They are fun to work with, but for me, I probably might need to work with them, maybe use them exclusively in maybe a 12 prompt or something more than a 12 prompt, 12 or more prompt series to really get that maneuverability of these crayons, because for right now it is just not for me. Again, I want to thank Scrawlrbox for sending this as a part of our January 2024 set. That was the last set I got from Scrawlrbox, so I want to thank them for sending us this to give us the opportunity to use them. And hopefully, I don't know, I'll like I said, I probably might have to do some kind of 12 prompt challenge and use these exclusively, and maybe render in 12 art prompts with these exclusively. I will be able to get the maneuverability of working with these crayons and how to work with these crayons. Until then, guys, thank you so much for joining me on this journey, and as always, stay safe, stay blessed, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye.